What's going on, everybody? How you doing? Lord PeteyTV here. We're here to talk about our Gallywix kill for our community normal run raid on Friday nights. And here we go. So, as you can see here, and as always, like we normally do and we normally talk about, we end up talking about right now, like pretty much what's going on, how things are happening, and what we're doing. So we end up splitting our raid into two groups, and we end up having one group soaking one attack and the other soaking the other, what they call quote unquote cone soaks. So we end up doing that while missing these large circles on the ground, which are very easy to dodge. And I tried to make sure that I was communicating that happening. Now, those cone soaks do produce a healing dot that are put onto you, so be careful of that. This is the suppression fire that's put out on both sides. That's pretty much where you are standing, so be careful of that. There's this AoE pulse from the heat, so you got to be careful of those. Here's another cone on the other side, and now they have the heal absorb there. And now we're going to have bombs that are going to be coming out in just a second, which are, the big circles that are right there. Just got to be careful of them, not stand in it. Very easy to miss. So in this P1 portion, it's very easy to deal with. I will say that our DPS, I feel like, was very strong. That caused us to have a very short P2. So that's something just to put into your mind when you're going through this, that you could possibly just go right through a P2 very quickly. So here we go is another one. Here's another cone soak, and they're going to end up taking that. And yeah, it's a very simple process over and over again, and it takes, I think it's about like 2 minutes total. So we're just going to continue to watch it for a couple more seconds here. Here's another bomb. Here's another AoE pulse you got to be careful of, which really doesn't do much. Here's that cone soak. We make sure that everybody's there to be able to take that. And here's another suppression, and we're going to be going into stage 2 in a couple of seconds. Now, I didn't realize this, but when you end up getting multiple ads or drops, as you can see here, you end up killing these technician ads, and they're going to drop bombs. So we're going to end up DPSing these bombs down, and I thought to myself, I'm supposed to take one of these bombs and throw them in the side. I thought you just had to run through them. I didn't realize you had to click on them, and I ended up walking off the edge like a ding dong. And now I learned it. I told them, hey, I need you to res myself up. We ended up grabbing the bombs and just throwing them off the edge or into the center, whichever works for you. You have to use the button for it. Now I know. So we end up going through that process, and we're ending up doing our thing here. So you got the canisters you're going to target. These are soaks. So really the group wants to kind of split into go into those. Very similar to the cone soaks in the beginning. Here's another suppression that's going to come out. And we're going to end up, doing that. We're at 50% now, so our shield goes up on the boss. So we're going to end up forcing a DPS portion here. And then we're going to end up having to deal with them, just having that shield up. I thought he went into the center, but clearly he does not. He just stands where he is. So you have to just deal with him as he stands. Right now we go into part 2. Everyone, we lost, and then we do DPS now to try to pretty much burn him through the last 50% of his HP. I personally think that we could have probably waited a little bit longer before we used Lust, but it's better to use it now to maximize it. Now we're going to be getting these arrows that are going to come off with the soaks. And now after, you take those bombs and you destroy 2 of the nodules on the sides, you end up getting this kind of, I would say, lightning, ground lightning portion, which you're not able to go onto. So we end up starting to just do our DPS here again. Watch out for the AoE pulse. We're going to get another set of bombs that we got to get out of, which is a little difficult when you don't really have any speed things. And we're just going to keep going. Now, we have another one of the arrows, trying to make sure we don't kill anybody or our friends. We have another set of rocketeers coming down. We've got to be careful of the giga coils, which is the things on these sides. We end up DPSing those down. While that's happening, we grab the bombs. We can end up pretty much taking them and then throwing them into the sides now. So now we end up knowing what's going on, and you pretty much just take them and you throw them off to the sides. So, and that is that. Now, as you can see, It's pretty easy. It's very repetitive, and it kind of gets really, really easy to do. We actually did this on one pull, so we ended up doing the pull, killing the boss. It was crazy. We only had 2 weird situations that happened. One was my death, and the other one was Belden's death on his warrior, which happens a little bit later. So we don't know why that happened, but it happened. So we have to just make sure we're aware of that for next time. Here's another set of soaks. Another venting heat going to be coming out. Here's another set of soaks right here. Boom, everyone stands in them. We deal with them. We were worried about our tank having too much to deal with, but he had bubble available, so he was able to bubble and just pretty much hold aggro, drop all of his stacks of everything he had. Worked out really well for us. We got very lucky. And then we kind of got ready for this. Now, I thought that's how this worked, kind of throw them onto the bombs. But that's not exactly how that works. But anyway. So we got that. And kind of just going for it. And I was just like, DPS it down. Don't worry about the other stuff. And we'll have them down in 2 seconds. So after that's done, and we are finished, and we downed Gallywix. It was pretty awesome, pretty amazing. Like I said, it was our first kill. It was our first look. It was our first everything, and we were able to take Gallywix down. So it was really, really cool, and it was really, really enjoyable to see. And I'm very proud of our raid team, and I'm proud of everything else that's going on with the group. So thank you very much. I appreciate everybody for checking us out. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you check out all of our other videos. I would greatly appreciate it. Love you all. Dream big, keep gaming, and have a fantastic rest of your week. And good luck, and check it out. We'll be having our heroic videos coming out soon. Bye, everybody.